Ah, Pennsylvania. So many awesome, beautiful places. Most of America doesn't know about how special some parts of Pennsylvania actually are. While there's a handful of areas in Pennsylvania that are truly fabulous, there's also lots of places here that outright suck. The worst parts of Pennsylvania. You know them when you see them. They're the parts of Pennsylvania where you don't want to go, if you can help it. The goal today is to highlight the cities in Pennsylvania that are the worst of them all. How do we do it? We measure the things most bad cities have. You know, where people are broke, where lots of people don't have a job, and where crime and drug use is sky high. We even measured the public school education levels. Over the last 50 years, most of these cities have had their jobs exported to China and Mexico, their middle class has been decimated, and drugs and crime are rampant as a result. This list reflects that reality. Our first stop on our unfavorable journey through Pennsylvania starts in Chester, a medium-sized city along the Delaware River about halfway between Philly and Wilmington. Chester needs a big hug right now. The unemployment rate here is 9%, the median income is just above the poverty line, and the crime is the 7th highest in the state. Every year you're in Chester, you have about a 1 in 28 chance of being robbed. Oh yeah, and they had 22 murders here a year ago. Plus, Chester is one of the most polluted places in Pennsylvania, and that's saying a lot. An interesting note though, Chester is home to one of only a few tumbleweed sightings in the entire Northeast. Just outside of Pittsburgh is the ghetto little borough of McKees Rocks. You know when you get there and you see a car up on blocks. The Rocks has issues with drug overdoses, shootings, crime, and everything in between. There's a lot of Section 8 housing projects in the area too. This is the second most dangerous place in the state and the 6th poorest. The good news? Based on the number of meth users in Allegheny County, it sounds like you could make some extra money on the weekends. Just be sure to save some for your friends in Bradford County. They're always ready to buy. Just outside of Scranton is the crummy little borough of Dixon City. This place has some major issues. Dixon City has crime levels and jobless rates far above the state average, and the public schools are in the bottom 20% as well. In fact, as we're going to see, the greater Scranton area is the worst place you can live in the state of Pennsylvania. Way to go, 570! However, your entertainment options in Dixon City are far from limited. This borough has a ton of Redbox rental machines in town, where you can check out all the latest movies. Where's the 7th worst place to live in Pennsylvania? The people in Hazelton probably won't be too surprised to hear that it's you. Hazelton really has a mess on its hands. The unemployment rate is sky high at 11%. The schools are the 3rd worst in the state. They're underfunded and way overcrowded. Plus, households bring in a paltry 31 grand a year in combined income, meaning many people struggle to make ends meet. It might be the worst city in all of Northeast Pennsylvania. If you took your beat up car southeast of Erie, before it overheated, you'd come to Corey, and you'd be scared. Unfortunately for Corey, the crime rate's going up and up over the last 10 years. Homes are cheap, people are broke, and there's not a lot to do here. Plus, for a decent job, you'd have to schlep all the way back and forth to Erie for work every day. Yuck. What's positive about Corey? Well, the people here make more money than the people in Reading, so they can brag about that if they want to. Hey, yo. This video is brought to you in part by Clippas on MLK Boulevard in Strawberry Mansion. Come on and get your hair done. They do it tight and right. That's Clippas on MLK. G. We built this city. We built this city and now it sucks. Welcome to Shenandoah, the 5th worst place to live in PA. What makes S-Town such a shitty place to live? The housing scene is bad. Homes here can fetch less than 10 grand each, which is by far the cheapest in the state. It's a filthy, blighted town. The crime rate's high, drug arrests are common, and the Latino community drug traffic only makes things worse.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy.
Not here. Shenandoah actually has one of the least number of sunny days in the state too. South of Scranton along I-81 is a place that needs a lot of help, Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre is pretty bad now. Some people call it Dodge City. Locals and outsiders both are pretty good at littering, looting, and committing all the crimes here. The unemployment rate's the 7th highest in the state, people are really broke, and the public schools are 4th last in funding levels. On a positive note, if you like TV shows like The Wire or Shameless, Wilkes-Barre would be fabulous. Right along Route 219 in Cambria County is the real crummy city of Johnstown. Even people in Altoona know this place is a pit. Sure, it's a beautiful place in the surrounding community, but about 1 in 4 people in Johnstown lives below the poverty line, and everyone else is broke as hell too. There's been a lot of efforts to clean this place up, especially the drug use, but the population of Johnstown has still seen a 12% decrease over the last 10 years. On the bright side, Johnstown has just about more sheets per capita than anywhere else in the Commonwealth, so that's awesome. If you left Scranton and headed to Luzerne County, eventually you'd come to Nanticoke. You just might want to keep driving. Nanticoke has the 4th worst schools in the state when you consider spending levels and personal attention. Additionally, the unemployment rate's almost 7% and crime is in the worst 15% in the state. However, we have to mention that Nanticoke resident Jerry Simconis shot this 36-point buck in 2008 during archery season. That's one way to get the community spirit up again, Jerry. And where's the worst city in Pennsylvania? That would be Newcastle, hands down. This Lawrence County city about an hour northwest of Pittsburgh has the 11th highest unemployment rate, home values are in the worst 5%, and it's the 6th most dangerous place in the state. In fact, in some parts of Newcastle, you better watch your back, because if you wind up in the wrong neighborhood, you're gonna have a bad time. When you're in some of the worst Pennsylvania communities, some parts might be hard to tell apart, but you can tell who's from Newcastle though. They're the ones with the 40, the pistol, a beat-up car, and a pit bull. If you don't live in Newcastle or any of the other Pennsylvania cities we mentioned, you don't have it too badly. Congratulations.